I am also exhausted. Like I said, like it's after a game, and once the game's over, we're just like, all right, bedtime. And now we went through the thrill of that game, and it's just like,
We're so programmed for bed. You go to bed after a game, and it's like, okay, what do I do now? It's 6:30.
This is hours after the game's over, and our body's just like, okay, hold up.
What do we do?
This is my problem with matinee games. Matinee games.
What do we do
I like
now?
the idea because more people come out. I mean, that place was absolutely full.
You're talking the official attendance was over 17,000. It was close to 17,800. So 17,800. It's close to almost. That's well over 90% full of the arena.
Yeah. I mean,
It showed. It was loud.
the percentage of a Flyers fan was a little too high for my tasting. But
Yeah, but they all left home crying. Wah, wah.
And they were all hoping just to see Gritty.
Eliminated. You're listening to Revolution Rampage. I'm Omar.
I'm Zach.
Amanda.
And we just got back from the Flyers game, and
Canes
we're looking
Flyers game.
Yeah, it is the
Canes
game
against
versus the Flyers game. Everyone knows what we're talking about here.
1:30 puck drop, very early.
Yes, and we're so close, fellas. We are smelling it. Anyways, more after this. That was a fun game.
Was fun.
Okay, so
You smell that? It smells like playoffs.
we don't say that out loud. You know, you're going to have to go back and censor that. I want a nice loud beep when you say that.
Fine, postseason
There you go.
for multiple teams. Every team in North Carolina has qualified for the postseason.
Right, so now we can when we talk about, say, the Fayetteville Marksmen, they made the playoffs. When we talk about the Charlotte Checkers, they clinched themselves the playoffs.
They're still in first place in the AHL.
They are. They're cruising their way to whatever the equivalent of President's Cup is down there.
Not sure, but still, trophy.
Right. Let's see. I mean,
Thunderbirds won their league like God knows how long ago.
They're crushing it. NC State already went to the playoffs and were eliminated. Unfortunately for them,
Still got the national championship.
right, and they've gotten far. So kudos to them. They did an excellent job. They've got excellent players on their roster who might be looking to play in the NHL in the future. Was it Sam Benowitzki or
Yeah.
There's
There's a lot of good action so far. We need more.
Yeah.
But, oh my goodness, the Canes, how up and down have they been?
Let me let Dougie answer that one for you.
I mean, they've been doing pretty good. Okay, you lose a game here and there, but percentage-wise.
See, I knew he was going to do that, and it's still making me laugh.
It is. It's very funny.
I mean, I agree with you.
Go ahead,
It's
Dougie.
just very heartbreaking, the last couple of losses with Washington. But I just don't know. Buzz
City.
Yeah, Charlotte. But we should have won one of those games against Washington. We should have.
I think the problem with those games is we try too much, right? And I mean, let's break down what's happened since we last recorded, because we last recorded about 2 weekends ago, and if you look,
The playoff race is basically tightened extremely.
well, I'm telling you right now, it's very possible that you would need 100 points to get in the East. I mean, in comparison,
Yeah, in the West, you only need, 85?
I mean, the Avalanche are sitting at the second wild card in the West. They cannot get more than 41 wins this season. That is less than all games played. That's about half of all games played, and they can't reach it. They're I think at max right now. Give me 1 second to look at these numbers here.
They're at 85 points right now.
Right, they're at 85 points right now. And I'm not talking about points. I'm talking about wins.
They're at 36.
Right, they're at 36 wins. How many games you got left?
I believe 4.
They got 4 games. So they can only get to 40 wins. Of 82 games played, they can only win 40 of them, and yet they might get into the playoffs.
This is weird. Usually the West is the one where everybody has these
But this is
humongous
like
goal
3 or 4
point
years ago,
totals.
but like now the script is flipped. Now it's all about the East.
They got us.
Yeah, they did. If you check the Carolina Hurricanes Twitter account, they came out to the Section 328 Red Eye Rowdy tailgate.
Shout out to them and their great work.
And they put us on Twitter with a bunch of video cameras. A future project to be announced later for the Hurricanes.
Anyway, so and people have probably seen the cameras walking around the halls of PNC. But anyway, so right now, Vegas and St. Louis each have 90 points and have clinched a playoff spot. Carolina is sitting at 93 and still has the opportunity to completely collapse basically and be on the outside looking in. I mean, Montreal's got 90 and still on the outside looking in.
And technically Columbus and Montreal have that tiebreaker, but they're both at 90 points.
I mean,
it could go either way.
Columbus has the tiebreaker on Montreal, hands down.
It could literally go either way. The last person to get in.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild run to the finish, but at least, officially,
Personally, I'll find it hilarious if Columbus doesn't get in with all the trades and everything they gave up and they don't make the playoffs. That is going to be
here's
laugh.
the thing. If they do get in, they might in the end up facing Tampa. That's actually going to be a good series. And the reason I'm going to say that is because, you throw in a bunch of people like that again. You know what they say? A team of champions does not create a championship team. However, you give that team of champions enough time to build chemistry, and you're going to have a completely different story. So when you're talking about them going up against Tampa, that's a win-win for us. I mean, Boston and the Leafs going after each other, that's also another win-win for us. And the fact that the winners of those 2 rounds are going to have to face off before we get get a chance to scratch at them. My only worry right now is I think we can get past the Pens. I think we can get past the Islanders. I think we've solved our Greiss curse.
Well, that's what I was going to say is because they're sitting at 93 points. The Pens are sitting at 95, and they play them tomorrow.
Right, and the winner of that game gets to own the 3rd place spot.
Right.
And there's no extra games in hand because today was Carolina's game in hand.
Right.
But the thing you got to look at with all these playoff positions is you just got to win. And if you look at the compared schedules that I posted up on Revolution Rampage's Twitter account the other day, Montreal's last 4 games is absolutely terrifying. If I was a Canadiens fan, I would be terrified at these last 4 games. But then you look at somebody like Pittsburgh, who plays Detroit twice. I would rather have Pittsburgh's schedule if I was trying to
you
make
say
the
that
playoffs.
Detroit put up 4 on the Devils. I mean, yeah, they're playing with nothing to win or lose for, but at this point, everyone else is playing spoiler. I mean, the Flyers actually had something to play for today, and they couldn't muster up anything past those. Was it 3 goals they put up? No, 2 goals.
2. They put up 2, and we officially had 3 pass cams
One
out.
was on a 2-on-1, and the other one was on a power play. I mean, it's not like these guys were generating serious. I mean, granted, Mrazek stood on his head today and had amazing saves and an assist on Jacob Slaving's curving fastball up the ice. I mean, I watched that puck because we were sitting in like the perfect spot. We were me and Zachary, we were sitting at 112, and we watched that puck. And I think Amanda was upstairs up above our heads,
right.
And
we were just leaning the whole time, going, "Come on, move back, move back!" Oh my gosh, it actually moved back.
It curved. Like if that puck had gone actually straight, it would have gone past the net on the right. And I think that's all Jacob really cared to do was clear it. So
It still went in.
And I think the same thing with the McGinn shot. McGinn's empty netter. He was just trying to miss the net and really just, he was just trying to get clear the zone and.
Don't hit the post.
I mean, if you want to talk, I don't know if you count that as luck or just like pure unadulterated skill.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that. I think it's more just aim it in the right direction and hope.
I mean, they were on the penalty kill. It's not like they had anything to lose.
Yeah, and Slavin threw it in and it scored, and that
And
gave
they
us a
moved
4-2.
really slow. Like it was just like shh.
And even
they
the
bounced
Flyers
a bit.
players were just watching it.
Yeah.
They knew it was
they were-
either going to be
they couldn't-
nothing or a goal.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, that was the game for them. And then they tried again, and it just, sometimes you just have one of those nights, and the Flyers had one of those nights. But here's the thing, they've been having those nights all year. I mean, you're talking about a team that struggled for a while. The same team that, somehow after being booed off their own ice last season, made the playoffs, but then immediately got knocked out. I mean, Mrazek was in net for him, so there's that.
I mean, how many
That was-
goaltenders they go through?
Yeah, so this was a bit of a revenge game. I don't know. Do you call it a revenge game if you leave as a free agent? I don't
No,
know.
he needs that revenge game, the last one of the year, when it's actually in Philly.
The 2 back-to-back empty goals were interesting to me. See, so I can't stand the concept of the empty goal. The putting the extra person
It
on
works
there.
from time to time. You've got nothing to lose. You literally have nothing
I
to lose.
know,
You're already
but
losing the game.
I just feel like it never seems to work in their advantage.
I mean,
It
we've
worked
made-
for the Canes a couple times this
Yeah,
year.
we've made it happen. We made it happen against, was it Minnesota
Mm-hmm.
early in the year?
So,
and then,
but isn't it like once they get a goal, the goalie goes back?
Yeah.
But they didn't do that today because they got 2 back-to-back.
Right, because they were still
trying.
down, because they were down by 2. Usually if it's 1 or 2, then it's you can actually do it. I mean, the Checkers did it. So the Checkers let in an empty net goal and then won the game.
Right.
They put in 2 goals in in the final 30 seconds
And then won
to
in overtime.
to win in overtime. It was
Yeah.
I mean, that actually happened. So it's to say that it's completely impossible it's not true. I mean, if you're scrounging for points, get points.
Right.
But the reason I think that the Flyers, I mean, they started at empty net on that entire power play. I mean, that's a risky concept on a power play. I mean, I know you want that 6-on-4, but
Especially against I believe it's the 6th best penalty kill in the NHL.
and you already got 1 power play goal. I mean, you're right about one thing. If you're leaving the net empty on a series of plays that can allow the other team to just ice the puck whenever, and if it goes in, it does. If it doesn't, there's no penalty for it. That's rough.
I kind of wish it was Aho who scored the shorthanded goal, because that would have been his 6th shorthanded goal this year.
Yeah.
He got a good look. It almost happened for him
Yeah.
on one of the earlier
The game was full of
penalties.
chances both ways. It was just a matter of who converted, and the fact that the Canes got 2 goals in 21 seconds.
That was amazing.
I mean, that right there was incredible. I mean, Minter himself,
He couldn't even
he can
get it
keep
out.
up. I mean, pray for him.
He had to do it back to back. That was great, though.
I'll take that
more
all
often.
day. I mean,
Right.
Dougie. I mean, Dougie's. When you're talking about offensive defensemen, if you look a picture up in the dictionary, Dougie shows up.
What was that, his 16th goal this year?
Yeah.
It is, and he's one
We haven't
away.
had that high of a scoring defenseman in a while.
So last year he put up 17 goals. So this year, 1 more will match his career high, and he's on fire right now. I think he'll do it, and I think he'll reach 18. I think he might even get up to 20. That's how good he's playing this year. And I know there's only 4 games left, but I think he's going to be a goal-a-game player for the rest of the season.
Well, the fact that he's having these consistent numbers is great. Your favorite player.
I mean,
We were out in the back trying to get Dougie's autograph, but because they're going to Pittsburgh tonight, woo! But because they're going to Pittsburgh tonight, they kind of had to rush out of there.
it's all right. They play
He's
tomorrow
gonna
at
sign my shirt
5.
eventually. I'm gonna get him to sign.
I think
We'll
they
get
will-
him. We will get him.
Get him.
I mean, one of the things that was discussed is to wait for them at the airport after their Flyers game
that'd be
on
fun.
Friday.
Seems stalkerish, but
I mean, you're talking about supporting a team similar.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like,
I mean, yes, with that one, I thought you were going to say when they come back from Toronto. I was like, that might be a bit of a stretch.
no, on Friday against the Flyers when they come back, I think it'd be a good gesture. I think a lot of people online have mentioned this.
for the last game of the season.
For the last game of the
Yeah,
season, and then we gear back up for whatever is waiting for us afterward. Either it's more hockey or it's golf.
Yeah, I do love.
Okay,
a Dougie.
Tiger.
I have a weakness for red beards, so I love a Dougie.
Oh man, the redhead has a thing for a redhead.
Isn't that cannibalism?
Oh my goodness, you
the
went
power of the
there.
red
You
beard.
went there. Oh man, but the crowd today, the absolute crowd today,
Yeah, it was a lot
even
of
with
fun.
the amount of orange, it was
Yeah.
a fantastic crowd. I would say the best we had this year.
Maybe.
As
good,
far as
though.
what?
As far as just sheer
crowd.
numbers.
I think our home opener was a sellout.
Was it?
I don't know the numbers, but I know that we're better
good
this year
numbers
than
person.
last year, and we're gonna be better next year than.
Heck, our team
I think
average
next
is over
year is gonna-
14,000, so I'm happy with that.
Next year, I think is going to break records because of how much attention they got.
Well, the
this
record right
season.
now is the 2012 team, which averaged 17 something. I think 17-2.
Well, what was that because of the All-Star game that year, or is that
Probably, but it's still.
either way? Tickets are going up. Period.
Yeah.
And that might have to do with somebody, our buddy Dan, in social media, because they're doing a great job. And the more
They are.
exposure
Great job.
you get out there through various means, with social media, the Storm Surge.
It's not marketing. The proper marketing, I think.
Oh, you mean the marketing with your face on it?
Yeah. But honestly, and when you're talking about something like that, I mean, you think about it. It's got Tom Dundon's stamp on it, right? That man understands how to just run a business, and not just generally just a team. I mean, Peter Carmano's got exactly what he was looking for. He wanted the Stanley Cup and a bust in the Hall of Fame. He got both, and he said, "All right, peace out."
Well, now the question is,
Tom
next
Dundon doesn't
year,
care for either. I mean, he cares for a cup, but he doesn't care for a place in the Hall of Fame. He cares for winning, and that's all he wants. He wants to win,
no matter what.
and he hurts with us as much as as much as he enjoys it with us. But we got 4 games left on the season, and I think he's gonna want to make sure that each one of those games gets as much. Well, we got 4 games left, and I think it's only 1 home game, so he's gonna want that home game to get as much attention as humanly possible.
Yeah, we got 2 on the road. We got Pittsburgh tomorrow. Massive game. McElhinney's probably going to be in net.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
White Wolf. Let's go. Last time he was in Pittsburgh, they got a shutout, 3-0.
I wish the
That's
last
true.
game wasn't a Thursday.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. After Pittsburgh, the next game is at Toronto.
That should be an interesting game because I
It's a
don't think
weird
Toronto expects anything. I don't think they really put us on their radar very much.
My question is, will they start Anderson? If they don't start Anderson, I say the Canes win.
I think at that point, the 1, 2, 3 in that conference in the Atlantic are going to be set, and no one's going to be really playing for any sort of positioning. I mean, let me look at the points real quick here for for them.
I mean, the Atlantic is what the Central and the West used to be, where everybody's over 100 points, basically.
but is Toronto over 100 points yet?
I don't think they are, but
they're at
close.
97, and with 5 games
Oh, wait,
left.
wait. I just had a thought. Doesn't Toronto have a game against the Islanders in the remainder?
They do.
Oh, boy. Islanders are going to boo Tavares off the ice part 2.
Yeah, everyone. I mean, okay. I just want to say something to
I
Islanders.
mean,
fans.
I know it's disrespectful, but it was entertaining.
Can I talk to Islanders fans for a second here? I need you guys to just let me talk to Islanders. Hey, Islanders fans. Hi, it's me, Omar. I know John Tavares hurt you. He posted the picture of him in bed sheets that you all thought were his pajamas. I know he said he wanted to stay in Long Island forever. I get it. I really do.
Oh my God, this is gold.
But here's the deal. All right, just between me and you. He doesn't care. Throw your snakes.
He doesn't care.
Now I'm gonna switch real quick to talk to Toronto fans.
It just keeps going.
Deep thoughts.
Dear Toronto fans, hi, it's me, Omar.
I think we're just replaying it now.
You don't need to give Tavares a standing ovation. He's a hockey player. He's an adult. That's how you guys say those words over there when it starts with a vowel, right? Offense, adult. Anyways.
This is coming from a guy from the Bronx.
I just want to let you guys know that he doesn't care.
That message brought to you by Omar. Omar, the man who does weird promos in the microphone.
He's just not that into you.
We're going memeology right now. We need a professor of memes. Anybody at NC State know that?
Oh gosh. Did y'all slip something in that? Have y'all been
Amanda, you've known
digging
us for
in
how
my-
long now, and you didn't think we get this weird?
y'all got into my liquor cabinet, didn't you?
Hey, you're the one.
yet.
You're the one who had rum and cokes at the game.
It's the proper way to do it.
Oh, so good. Thank you so much, Hannah, for let me just say this real quick. So today was my mom's day out, and it was just a girls' day. And, Hannah really came through, and she got us into the camp. What's that word?
Champions
Club.
Words are hard, people. This is a podcast.
The Champions Club, and we had a blast. Thank you so much, Hannah. I really, really do appreciate it. That was it. I just
If you can't, since you
because-
can't see us, I'm death staring Amanda right now.
Because usually I'm dragging the kids with me, and of course that's a joy. But I hardly ever get out by myself, so it was very cool to have a mom's day out.
Yeah, I mean,
It's Mom's Day.
yay.
It was nice.
Woo.
Bring out the Doug Hamilton. Woo!
So that's another thing I want to say. Like all these players, you see players who they say they loved your team, like John Tavares did. But I mean, a lot of the players who when they don't really have to say it here in Carolina, because they show it, and it's a matter of them engaging with us in the things that we like to do and the things that make the Carolina Hurricanes the Carolina Hurricanes. Mm-hmm. You're talking about guys like Dougie and Calvin who just showed up this season and are already bleeding red. They already have really recreated the culture of old.
And then you have like fan favorites like Slavin. Even though every player was whizzing out heading towards the airport, Slavin still stopped for 10 minutes and gave autographs and pictures.
It had to have been longer than 10
Hey,
minutes.
so it was longer than 10
Oh my
minutes.
God, he got everybody.
He got everyone there, and that's why he
was
is a
so
fan
nice.
favorite.
I mean, I get it why the other guys couldn't stop. They all had to get to the airport, and Slavin was out pretty
When
early.
he's slaving, I think he can afford to be a little late.
And he's Slavin. But he was so nice. It was very nice.
The man with the A can afford to be late.
Well, he's not wearing the A anymore. Stall's back.
Ghost A.
I mean, he does. I mean, honestly, let's do that real quick. You ready? Let's readdress the captaincy, right? Let's say
Williams
that
stays captain.
let's say Williams retires,
Mm.
right? And let's say Falk gets traded in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you reposition the three letters?
Oh man, I would say
Because I've got my answer.
I would say Jordan returns as the C.
Okay, and your two A's?
Slavin and Aho.
Oh, definitely. I might throw a turbo in there.
If we do, there is teams who do 3As, and I would say if we do a third A, it'd be Turbo.
I mean, Williams absolutely deserves the C.
Yeah, and Williams is a captain.
Yeah.
And he
Captain, my captain.
and I mean he took it and he ran with it. I mean he didn't like from
did a
last year. You didn't really see. I mean you had two players as captains, but you didn't really see people. You didn't see them acting as captains. Really, I mean they were captains. They did give that stuff, but at the end of the day, the players that said the right things, the players that gave either the fans and the rest of the team that motivation, it was just Williams, and that's why it was a no-brainer, and we called it at the beginning of the season. We called the captaincy correctly.
Look back in the episodes. We did call it. We have proof.
We said that it was going to be Justin Williams as captain, and that they would have to give both Falk and Stahl the A's, and the reason for that is because Falk and Stahl were captains last year. I think that maybe we don't see it as the fans, but I think they really do step up as alternate captains and captains in games such as for example, in practices or in the stuff between the scrimmages lines. When someone has to talk to the refs, I mean, and stuff like that. The other small things that we don't really see that captains do on the ice and off of it.
Yeah.
It kind of showed today when Williams had to go into the box for a penalty. Slavin and Jordan were talking to the refs, just trying to figure out what was going on.
And we were talking about that today about Falk, about just how different he is this season than last season. He's more engaged. He seems happier. He interacting with the fans.
He scored today. He's scoring more. I think he's starting
more.
to figure out that his wrister is probably a little bit more powerful and accurate than the slap shot. Although that one goal was from the blue line. Like he shot it from there and it just had eyes and it just went in.
Great.
Falk, I believe, is starting to realize he is not the scoring defenseman that everyone pegged him to be, where he would be getting 25 plus goals a year.
But he's not a stay-at-home defenseman either. So the question
he
becomes,
is a good hybrid, and he's starting to realize that, where he's starting to not pinch. He's not trying to pinch as much. He's pinching smart. Mm-hmm. Where if he realizes that it might be an odd man break, he's starting to back out. And yes, there are moments where every fan in Carolina are like, why do we keep him? But again, he showed today why we kept him. He has the leadership, the experience, and he made good decisions.
He did.
Yeah, and I think the problem with the Falk sometimes is that he gets himself in positions where there's no right answer, and that he ends up too often than not on the bad end of a 2-on-1 and sometimes he's right there at the right levels, and it's really just it's hard to figure out where to stand on him. Is it bad skill with him, or is it bad luck? And I think more often than not, it's bad luck. This team has not been lucky. I think Sarah had something that broke down how much percentage of everything was luck, and the Canes were dead last in luck. I mean, imagine this team. Everyone's been saying throughout the years, if only this team had league average goaltending or league average passing. How about if this team had league average luck?
Right.
We'd probably be where the Lightning are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't want to be where the Lightning are next year because they'll be in cap hell, along with the Maple Leafs.
Well, that's their problems to figure out.
Yeah, we still have 18 mil.
Well, it's not even that. Well, we got to pay Aho, and then we got to figure out we're going to pay Ferland.
That's why we got area to expand.
Right. Like here's another thing. Right.
Mrazek.
Well, there's that too. But I think he'll get. He'd be paid a similar deal to what he's getting now. I think he's good right now, maybe a little bit more, but it's not something crazy. He's not going to get Carey Price numbers by any means.
No, nowhere near that. Because Carey Price, that contract was well earned, even though. Carey Price, I believe, is a little more like Lundqvist and Carey Price. Both are really great goaltenders. Both don't have a cup. And I believe that's one of the biggest problems with the NHL right now.
I realized that Lundqvist didn't have a cup.
He got to the
I would be
finals.
so mad if I was Lundqvist. As good as he is, come on.
Yeah, he got to the
He's
finals
got a
and they lost
crown,
to
but
LA.
no cup.
He got to the finals and lost to Justin Williams with the Kings
Jeez.
the second time.
Yeah, there's a lot of players out that are like that. I mean, you're talking about guys like, PK Subban. He still doesn't have a cup. Or
Yeah, but,
But he
you
hasn't
got to
been
admit,
around as long as
Carey and
Lundqvist
Lundqvist
either.
are getting up in years. So
it's true. It's true. I mean, at
PK
some point, there has to be
is
some
he even-
frustration.
what is PK? Is he even 30?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he has time. He has time, and he's in a good place with Nashville. I mean, we could defer that question to our good friends over in Nashville, and may they give us some luck with beating Columbus today.
Music City Gold. I hope you guys are listening because one of us listens to your podcast, right?
2. At least 2.
At least 2 of us do.
I just haven't gotten to it yet. Sorry.
Hey, out of the 3 of us, the one who might actually show up on your podcast is Amanda. She's actually been to Nashville.
Yeah. I really wish we had. I would have definitely tried to hook up with them when I was there because I don't know when I'd ever go back to Nashville, but
Yeah, shout out Music City Gold.
29.
Next time. The Panthers blew out the Bruins 4-1.
Whoa. Was Luongo in that?
I don't know.
PK's 29, by the way.
This is like a fun fact corner right here. I like it. But
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be 30 in May.
Bobby Lou.
man, the
Bobby
Florida
Lou.
Panthers next year are going to be a very interesting team.
I mean, we say that every year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to remember this year the rumor mill with Bobrovsky and Panarin.
We're going to Florida.
Yeah, they
I
have the
don't
cap
know.
space. They have the cap space
I
for
mean,
it.
sure, they have the cap space, but you're talking about Bobrovsky's Russian A, and you're talking about does he want to go to Florida or does he want to go to a bigger city?
I think he would want to go to Florida because no sales tax.
What?
Sorry, no
What?
income tax. No income tax.
What? I can
A
imagine,
lot of the-
I can imagine a conversation right now.
Well, you gotta
Bob's
remember-
agent, so Bob's agent's just like, so Bob, where would you like to go play next?
No income tax.
I would like to go someplace. I don't know why he sounds like this.
Right.
Why did he? Why
that
does he
doesn't
sound like Sean Connery?
I don't know.
But you got to remember though, one
I
of the
would
thing-
like to go to some place with no income tax.
Well, look at this. Look at it this way. Matt Stone has already publicly stated that he's liking his new contract extension with Las Vegas because
He's
in
gonna stay in
Vegas,
Vegas.
in Nevada, they have no income tax, and he gets to
It's not
keep a
about
good
that.
more
It's not-
production
okay,
of it.
Yeah, but here's another thing. It's not just about that. I mean, hey, did you see the welcome he got when he went to Vegas? I mean, they pulled out all the stops for him.
Yeah, they did it very Vegas.
Yeah, they did it very Vegas, and there's a certain attraction to playing in Vegas and being a Vegas night superstar player. And I think
Well, we could
it's
also take this situation and turn it back on the Hurricanes.
that's what I'm about to say. Like, I think it's starting to also become something that the Canes are doing. Being part of the storm surge, being part of a team that scruffles the feathers of Don Cherry and the old towny. I mean, you get to be
Having an
talked
owner that
about-
actually makes things happen in the arena. I mean, that $200 million renovation looks amazing. If that passes, I will be so happy.
We'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see
And the
what
new
happens.
scoreboard.
I'm excited for a new scoreboard. Wherever it looks like, honestly, I mean, I think scoreboards are a huge part of an arena. I think it's one of the biggest things that gives an arena its feel. And I think a new scoreboard would go a long way to giving a little bit of an identity to the team a bit.
I'd like to see them have something that they come out of. Like the Preds have the big head that they skate out of, and there's other teams that
a stormy head.
I don't know, just something. I don't know, maybe a swirling
you know what I would like?
storm or something.
You know when you go to the mall, when you go to the mall and there's like the tornado tunnel
Right.
thing that you stand in with all the money.
The hurricane one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
if they could do some kind of production, but I just think that I would like to see them have something that they come out of. Like even the Knights, they have stuff.
Yeah.
that
Yeah, they do.
skate
They-
out of.
Well, here's the
I just think
idea
it's
that
cool looking.
I've said this multiple times on social media that back when the Hurricanes had the All-Star game, they did the player introductions. They had all the players skate out of this fog wall, like a mist wall.
Yeah.
You could easily install that in that corner where the fans come out.
But you got to think about it. Are you installing it right over the ice? Or that complicates things a bit, or are you going to do it a little bit behind, kind of
you install
at the end of the
right behind
you install it either
the boards, and then as they're coming out, it would kind of follow them.
Well, you could also do it like an independent system where you could literally
through
just
the
pick it
smoke.
up and place it there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or here's the
or
idea that I
comes down
had.
from the ceiling. It could be something that comes down from the ceiling, and they only do it for the beginning of the game.
Right.
What
That's
if
what I'm saying.
What if they installed it under this LED signage,
Maybe.
like that LED
Right
at
at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But here's the
maybe.
thing, that's technically not the end of the fan tunnel, because fans would stand all the way
We
up,
stand,
almost
yeah,
closer to
stand
the
all the way up
glass.
to the ice.
Hey, this is good. These are ideas. We're all throwing out ideas. Hopefully, Kane's
hot.
management is listening.
How we know at least a couple of guys are listening.
Boggs, we know you listen.
Hi, Jonathan.
Apparently,
He's,
Dan.
he's probably in the gym right now, just like getting his pump on. He just stops
That is
halfway
so
through a lift, like, wait, what?
Apparently, Dan's listened to us at least a couple times. So the head of social media
Digging
for the
some-
Canes at least listens to us every once in a while.
Just really crazy. Just call him hi.
Hi, Jordan. I'm your biggest fan. We're turning into a house of horrors right now.
This is what
This is
happens
new.
after
This is-
matinee games.
Yeah, this is what happens. It's like Canes after dark, but it's still
Yeah.
like 6 p.m.
Man, imagine if imagine the hilarity if we did this all drunk.
We probably will one
Oh, we're
day.
not?
I had one beer.
Maybe you guys aren't.
I had one beer. And that was at the tailgate like 5 hours ago.
5.
6.
No, closer to like 9 hours ago.
Whatever. This guy Omar over here told us to be there at
11. He said 11.
He said 11 at first, but he said be there by noon,
By noon.
to be in that video. I'm
We-
actually
we
glad he
were.
did. I'm glad he did.
Oh, yeah. That was great. I'm
I'm
glad.
I'm-
I just.
But anyways, it was fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. I think
Dog
everyone,
pile.
when that stuff comes out, I think people are going to enjoy that. I think it's going to be a really good connection with the team and the fans.
Here is a hint for what the video might hold.
All right, you're done.
Dog pile.
You're done.
Stop.
You're done. You're fired.
You can't let that stuff go. It's gotta be
You're
a-
yeah. I mean, when Dan listens, to
I was at the
to
very
pod, He's
bottom.
gonna be when Dan listens to the pod. He's gonna be really upset at you, and he's gonna block you on Twitter.
my God.
Anyways,
What? They would never do that. Maybe.
the ultimate
Hopefully.
insult of a social media.
Hashtag spoilers.
I am so exhausted. Oh my God.
Hey, we're almost done.
Well, I mean, okay, so of course I worked all week, and then I worked at the Ice House last night. I got off about 12, had to get up for hockey at 7:30, and then Omar was like, "Get there by 11." I'm like, "Okay." I got there, I guess, what, quarter
Yeah.
to 12?
I
Maybe?
kind of just made a mistake last night and stayed up watching NCAA basketball.
What is that? Cricket?
He says that to everything. Everything that's not hockey, he's like, "Is that cricket?"
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna start making T-shirts with like one person like wearing like a piece of like a football helmet, like
My God.
a baseball mitt, an actual cricket bat, and and it has a basketball under his one arm, and he'd be like,
Yeah.
and there's a hockey player going, "What is that, cricket?"
Right, yeah. There you go. That's another one.
See, we're coming up with merch ideas, and we haven't even gotten merch yet.
Yeah.
We'll get there. And I think it's time for us to kind of
Oh, wait, before big shout out to Danielle for hooking up with my merch.
Yeah.
If you
She's
don't,
so
if you guys
awesome.
don't know, I do personas at games every once in a while, and I do hockey pool. And Danielle made me-
Persona.
persona.
Singular.
Well,
I
he
got
did
two.
He did
I
the
got two
Godzilla.
official ones right now. I'm making a third.
I mean, is it official? Really? I mean,
It's my official.
okay.
I was
Whatever makes
watching
you happy, it's okay.
But
You know,
Danielle-
it makes you happy. So there you
Danielle
go.
made me a hockey pool T-shirt, and I am extremely appreciative. I have my own merch.
Nice.
I can't sell it; it's mine.
Right.
I mean, he's got it. He's got a shirt.
He's got.
It's my shirt, mine.
Well, that was very sweet of
There are many
Danielle.
like it, but that one is his.
Yes. Break out the Full Metal jacket.
We're gonna have to resuscitate Amanda after this episode.
I'm so exhausted.
Hold on.
Everything
Clear.
is just hilarious between the drinks. And, so drinks at carpool. God.
At Champions Club. Drinks at Champions Club and
Drinks
the high
at
of being
tailgate.
high.
Drinks at Champions Club, and I may or may not have gotten into the liquor cabinet at the house. And the delicious dinner that we had right before the podcast. And I'm so tired.
So as of right now, at least 1 out of 3 are semi-drunk.
Just
I will
one.
not
Just one.
confirm nor deny that.
All right, so let's.
Oh my gosh, this is a
we
great
need
episode.
to really start talking about positioning here in playoffs.
Well,
Phrasing, I know.
we can literally make it to at least third, realistically. If the Islanders run into a rough patch, then yeah, we can definitely catch them at second.
But you're talking about, the Islanders very well could run into a rough patch. I mean, if you look at the rest of their, I think I need to talk a little closer to the microphone.
Maybe.
If you look
Maybe
at
we'll hear you.
Maybe if you look at the rest of their schedule, they're visiting. They're at Buffalo. I think the game just started for Buffalo.
Yeah,
and
the afternoon games are just starting now, so.
Now, and I get Buffalo didn't do much against them last time, and Buffalo's been useless because that's what they are. They're useless, as well as their fans. And then,
Wow.
Buck Buffalo, and then then they've got Toronto on Monday, so they'll weaken up Toronto for us before we play them.
Hopefully.
And then they got Florida and Washington. Florida, I know, I get it. They're out, they're eliminated. It should be an easy squeezy win. But is it? Because the Bruins lost to them today. So
we shall see.
Yeah, and then they finished the season at Washington. And you're talking about we don't know. After today, they'll only have 3 games left, and they're sitting at 97 points. We're only 4 points behind them. Who knows? Maybe by Wednesday would be sitting in their spot. Who knows?
Well, speaking of teams that have nothing to play further with, we got a lot of those on ours. We have, to end the season, we have the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers again.
Yeah, but the next 2 are going to be your difficult ones with, the Pens tomorrow.
With the Pens and the Maple Leafs, but once we get past those and those last 2 games, I really do not want a repeat of 2007 when we got to the last game and got eliminated on the last game.
Was it 2007 or 2010?
It was the year after the Stanley Cup because we lost to Florida at home on the last game. Mm-hmm. And
Florida's no joke. Florida will mess with you in the end of the season.
Florida's like a curse with us when we were in the Southeast Division. Now that they're out of the division, they're less of a curse. We can actually beat them. But now that curse seems to be Philadelphia. That we broke today, kind of, because we eliminated them.
We'll see. If we can beat Philadelphia, technically, we're 3-0 against the Flyers. So hopefully Thursday we get to break out the brooms.
And Carter Hart did not play today, which I was kind of disappointed with.
Carter Hart,
Carter Hart,
What?
That's what Philly fans do.
Oh yeah.
And then he just woke up. It's like, I'm sorry, what's going on? We're doing what now?
But yeah, Carter Hart will be the face of that franchise, and I just wanted to see.
I'll
him
be
play.
honest with you. I'm a little scared of Carter Hart. If he continues to grow from where he's at now, that might spell trouble for us.
Well, I'm not too scared to say I'm completely scared of them because our goaltending is on fire.
Our goaltending is on fire,
and our future goaltending is fire.
Yes, let's talk about Ned real quick because he's crushing it.
Yeah, he
down the AHL.
He set the franchise record for most wins in a season as of, I think it was earlier this week at 32. He's got the most
wins in the league. He's got the most wins in the league. He's got the best GAA in the league. You're talking about a goalie that is playing below his standard. When I say below his standard, I'm talking about he should be in the NHL. There's no room for him in the NHL right now.
I mean, the White Wolf and King Peter are just doing that
so the
well.
question becomes, what do you do with him? Because he's a UFA. Sorry, he's. I think he's either a UFA or he's a free agent.
I believe
he
he's
needs to get
restricted.
re-signed. Ned needs to get re-signed.
He's a UFO.
Right? Wee. Anyways, but honestly, Ned needs to get re-signed.
Ned needs re-signed, and Mrazek needs re-signed.
What do we do with Curtis McElhaney?
We'll see what he wants to do.
Do we tell him, hey, thank you for your service, give him a good hearty salute, and send him walking, and moving his entire family again?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad about that, but
Well,
I mean, we got to do what's best for the
Let's
team.
just see what he does. He might retire at the end of the year. But we don't know. It's all up to him right now.
It's true, and honestly, it might. I think if someone give me a piece of wood.
There's one right there.
Y'all heard that? Okay. If we make it all the way and we lift 35 pounds of silver, we are going to see more than a couple of players say, I want to ride into the sunset on this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, big time. Williams, I would say, is one of them.
Oh, yeah. That's an easy one to
Williams, McElhaney.
say. Yep.
I'm trying to think like the older players.
Those are the two oldest.
Yeah, they're the two
Stahl's
oldest.
a little older.
Jordan
Stahl's
might.
getting there.
Jordan
Yeah.
might. Especially with the concussion
Yeah.
scare.
Yeah, I think, and that's another thing. I think Stahl, well, he's still contracted for a bit.
Well, we gave him that 10-year deal when we signed him the first time. How much more has he got on that?
Let's see real quick.
Was it really a 10-year deal?
Yeah, Rutherford gave him a 10-year deal.
I mean,
That's a lot.
yeah.
Penguins
That's a lot of
fans,
years.
beware. He will ruin your team.
Rutherford.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not.
Oh,
That
yeah, I
wasn't a
was
bad
like,
deal.
No. Rutherford will ruin.
Rutherford.
I'm calling it right now. Once Sidney Crosby leaves or Malkin leaves, that franchise is going to be screwed.
But what's telling you that these guys are going to leave? I mean, I think the kid's there to stay.
Well, I'm saying like once they retire,
Yeah.
then
that might be a
there's
while.
no team building in that franchise. Like if you look at their AHL team, there's no one there because they keep calling all of them up onto the main squad and they keep getting hurt or they get traded.
Here's a thought. Do you think the Storm Surge will be back next year?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe it is
think
tradition
part
to
of
stay.
tradition now. Who's going to be the ringleader for it? If Williams is still around, it'll obviously be him. But I think to say that it's a mantle that will be passed down to the next captain, whoever it is, even Stahl. I mean, if he becomes the next captain, as stone-faced and serious as he is, I think he will be the one who takes a step up on this. I think it's part of the culture. I think the fans will demand it of the players.
I think the owner will demand it.
Maybe.
Put aside the owners, because when you say an owner demands it, it'll be kind of negative. But I think if the fans are the ones demanding it, as a player, I think players will be excited to do it. They look like they have so much fun. I mean, you're talking about
Will they be as
opportunities
theatric? Maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity to just discuss with get them to be in the same room, same place, and talk something other than just like practice and set plays and stuff, where they can get to make fun, like, oh, let's try this, let's try that, and it's still something to do with their work. And I think they build a lot of camaraderie and a lot of there's no issues in that locker room.
Yeah.
And I think the Storm Surge is a huge part of that. It's a huge part of how that chemistry was built. So eat your heart out, Don Cherry.
Let's not be like Vancouver and ban Fortnite.
So yeah, Stahl's signed till 22. No,
Oh, okay.
23.
10-year deal.
Wow.
Yeah, because he re-signed July 1st of 2012, and that 10-year deal takes him all the way to July 1st, 2023.
Yeah.
Teravainen's also signed till then.
Well, we just
Good.
re-signed
That's good.
him.
Yeah. Svechnikov, of course, he's got that 3-year deal.
Martinuk.
Martin looks, of
Then
course,
we
re-signed
sign him.
Yeah, he's good until 2021.
What about Aho needs to get
Yeah,
Aho
Aho needs
how's the restricted free agent?
But
Let me look-
Aho said that he wasn't going to talk anything until after the season. So that's a good sign.
So the good news is Nedeljkovic is a restricted free agent. Callum Booth signed for another year. Helvig signed for 3 more years. I'm not going to talk about Darling right now.
Well, we also need to look down the line and remember what's going to eventually happen with another expansion draft.
Yeah, there's that. So Seattle's going to come in and upend everyone's systems.
Seattle to be named.
I think they're going to be the Seattle Metropolitans, which is...
Boo.
Yeah, that's not very creative.
It's not creative, but it's the history there. And
Yeah.
there's
But that would
people-
mean
that's
we
what
would have
people
to
like.
change our division name.
Why?
Because you would have a division and a team with the same name.
Okay.
And that's not.
I mean, honestly, I don't like the divisions they are right now. I think the
They're
concept.
weird.
Bring back the Southeast.
I mean,
I think the concept of like what does what matters. I think that they should break it down where there are 4 divisions. You win your division, you get a playoff spot, and then you add 4 more wild cards. So you have 8 and 8. And then you foster that rivalry inside your divisions, and you're not really worry so much about the other teams. You play the other teams 3 times if they're inside the conference, twice if they're on the other conference, and then But
We
I
won't get
it.
into NHL scheduling. It's already a mess.
It's a mess. I don't know how they generate it. Kudos to all those who do. They do a lot of good hard work.
Quit giving the Hurricanes these month-long road trips.
I mean, forget the month-long road trips. Let's talk about the 5. Let me underscore that for you and highlight it and put it in bold and italics and whatever you do, stars to the left and right of it. But 5 back-to-backs in a single month.
And we're doing good. And remember, the Canes only have lost, I believe, 1 back-to-back.
Okay, I'm gonna
The second half game?
I'm gonna need to lock on the split again. Hold on. All right, so
I believe they've only lost 1.
Since December, late December, when they lost the second game of that half to back-to-back to New Jersey Devils. Since that game, the shutout against the Devils, in which they really shouldn't have been a shutout, because that one goal that
Should have counted.
that they called off against the Justin Williams should have counted, should have gone in overtime, and I think Canes could have won that game.
And then Falk just got sped by.
Anyways, moving on. Since then, the Canes are undefeated on the second half of a back-to-back. Rod Brindamore said that it's a myth that the second game of a back-to-back has to be harder. And he's proven that.
Legs feed the wolf, and I think Brendan Moore believes in that.
I think Brindamore is really pushing into this team a regime of recovery that comes along. We all see them crying about Billy and Billy, and if they don't get Billy, they cheer. Got it. Working out's rough, but I think it's more than just a working out. I think it's a matter of recovery, and for people like Rod who work out so often, they know that in order to get that next pump and get that next workout in, you have to recover from the first one. And that comes into, in order to win that second game of a back-to-back, you got to recover from the first one. I think this team is good in that. And there's a lot that goes into a team, a hockey team, a sports team, outside of just, practice and, do they know how to do this and skill and how fast are they? Well, you got to build all that. And that starts from the gym. That starts from all the other things they do that's not on the ice. Y'all are a part of this too,
Well, you're kind of going on your episode rant.
Thing.
Everyone in this podcast gets to do a rant every once in a while.
That's
Amanda gets
right.
hers, I get mine, you get yours. That was yours. We were just letting you go.
Yeah, and now that the women's season is over, my rants are gonna go down a little.
Well, now you get
they
to
had
talk
their
about
game.
what do you want to see next season.
Yeah,
They had their
that's
game.
true.
They had their game, and it was actually really well done. Like all the women's things going on that game, it was really well done. I'm so mad that I missed that game.
Which one are you talking about? The USA one, or
The women's night the Canes had.
Oh, right.
It was really well done.
Right.
I believe Pride Night was actually a little more underwhelming than Women's Night.
I don't know.
There's
They
so much
did
you
it
could
up
do for Pride Night.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love the colors on the ice.
I love
they
that.
did a
I
lot of
love
good
that,
work
but I
for
felt
them.
like
They did a lot.
they did more with women's night.
Well, there's more to do with it. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to members of the LGBT community, but there's a women's team league around here with the Trailblazers that we interviewed them a couple episodes ago.
They got
I respect and I love the LGBT
the Lady
community.
Canes, you know.
And it's good that there's nothing more to do because the LGBT community should not be discriminated and separated from from people who are straight. They should be, and I hate the term straight. I wish there was a better term for it. That are, I don't even know what to say. Non-LGBT. How about that?
Isn't that what hetero is?
Heterosexual. Oops.
Yeah.
There is a word for it. Heterosexual.
You're correct. You're correct. Words are hard. Anyway, for those who
That is your new catchphrase. That is your new catchphrase.
What is my new catchphrase?
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
The guy who literally does a podcast and organizes all these different articles for cardiac
yeah, he writes
canes and everything.
stuff
Words are hard.
Words are hard. I know this because I edit them all day.
Which is a hard language.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is,
Yes.
because there is no
Say it all.
separation, there's no discrimination, there is no special LGBT hockey league, and there shouldn't be, because they should be normally part of regular hockey leagues. I'm not gonna say regular as in the bad thing. I'm saying, there's a men's league and a women's league because of and I think there should be a time where men and women should be able to play together.
There will be eventually. Eventually, there will be.
I won't see it in my lifetime.
We'll see. But I'm saying,
I doubt it will be in mine either.
and I think there's sometimes maybe it's not a good thing because then the women might play different. When the men are on, men will play a different style than a women, different style. And
It's just a different style. And
I
the
like-
whole
I like
locker room
seeing-
situation too would be a mess.
I mean, I'm not even worried about that. I like the styles that the women have.
It's a
The
style.
women's have a more vibrant, skillful style than the men, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving in the men's leagues, the NHL, all that. And the women's they're a little bit more skilled. It's actually a lot more exciting to watch sometimes than just watching people shove each other over again.
Kind of
and
like the
again.
WNBA and the NBA.
Yeah.
Just
What is that,
It's
cricket?
different.
oh, catchphrase number 2.
I love it.
But yeah, there was one thing that with the women's night that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was Pittsburgh had their women's night last night.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody, I don't remember who, put on there like this list of things that the Pittsburgh Penguins and every team should do. And there was
weird.
It was ridiculous demands where this lady said that
I'm not gonna get into that. Let's not get into that. I saw that. There's some things where I agree with that, and then some things were just a little over the top. And
there
just
were like
thinking
2 or
from-
3 points that were actually good though. There
I
were
mean,
2
there
or
was
3
definitely
points out of the 2 pages.
I mean, there was definitely some things that are over the top, like only hire female staff at the arena. And
Only
then-
have every member of the ice crew be
Yes.
female.
I mean,
get a little
it's like it's a. I mean, you're talking about a logistical nightmare for
We're trying
a
to be
team.
inclusive, not exclusive.
Exactly, and women's nights and all these other nights should be about highlighting women's achievements, highlighting women's leadership and roles in society and all that. That's what I want to see. I
Which
don't want to see more segregation.
Right.
Just so that way, it's not a woman should get a 1-up for one night, because no one should have a 1-up, men or women. It should all be about a chance to maybe highlight
Right.
women,
Yeah.
maybe highlight their achievements, and I'm all about that. But
Which is-
more segregation,
which-
I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Yeah, which
No.
going back to the women's night, I believe we did very, very well, especially with all the with the siren sounders, the Trailblazers being on the ice, people who got highlighted throughout
Colleen
the game.
Murphy being there, the hero of the game.
Yep, it was a very
It's awesome.
well done night. And then when they did the exact same thing, almost the exact same thing with LGBT, it just felt like there was something missing because you had that presence on the ice.
I get what you're saying. I get it.
Well, I mean, it's a work in progress. These kind of games are still relatively new. I mean, when did we start doing Pride Nights? Like 3 years ago? Something like that?
I don't know.
I mean,
When is
they were
the hockey
calling
for
that
everyone?
hockey is for everyone,
Yeah.
but I think this is the first year they've actually called it a Pride Night, and I think that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had...
Yeah,
but
because
they're
they kind of broke it
separating
down
it
to
out,
the
too.
different things of what hockey is for
and
everyone.
they took an advantage to do a hockey is for everyone night on different levels for the different aspects of it.
Right.
But yeah, I think last year was in February, and they moved it to March so it doesn't collide with the African American month.
Mm-hmm.
And I think history,
Which I
month.
still find it weird that it's in February, but that's more my personal thing.
Mm.
I believe it should be in January with Martin Luther King Day.
I mean, there's different things and different roles.
But we need to get off politics. Get
We
off
do.
that. Let's get back to hockey.
Yeah, I think we're coming to a close here. I think there's 4 more games left in the season. I think we're gonna record again right after the season ends. And,
Yeah.
and
The regular season.
regular season.
There you
ends.
go.
Well, yeah.
There will be more. We have to believe people.
Well, I mean, the regular season will end on April 6th. And on the 7th, I think we'll get together again and discuss the results and see what happens. There's a lot to be excited about. And for maybe the once in the
Hopefully.
last 10 years, there's a real sense of optimism and hope in North Carolina. And it's paying off dividends. And people are realizing that there's a lot of things they thought about the Carolina Hurricanes that are just completely not true.
Not only that, with the
Yeah.
other levels, we have possibly 4 teams, all 4 teams professional league in North Carolina going to the postseason. Hockey in the state is booming. Period. The end. I really hope we will see.
You said the end there. I think I'm going to put the outro in there.
I really hope that we see at least 2 trophies come to North Carolina. At least.
Well, that's a lot to ask for, but doable, all realistic.
We'll see.
I mean, the Thunderbirds.
Everyone has a chance when they're once the postseason starts. That's why it's called the postseason, not the season plus. it's its own beast,
It
and
is.
you got to respect that beast.
Yes.
or else. We're watching you.
Okay. This
Hey.
is Revolution Rampage. You've been listening to. I'm Omar.
I'm Zach.
Amanda.
All right. Thank you.
Woo!